Currently in Montreal. We are going to go a place I've always wanted to see. I don't think we're going to go in because it's expensive, but I've heard about the worst theme park in America many times. I'm a big theme park nerd. I really like seeing terrible things up close. And very few people have nice things to say about La Ronde. So the goal today is I'm going to walk up and around, going to go visit the park in all its glory, and see if it's worth all the hate from afar, but also hopefully walk around, check out Expo 67, check out some of the more interesting parts of the city I haven't got to see yet. But I'm currently, I guess, downtown. We're on St. Denis right now, and we're going to be going up over, there's currently a street fest happening, and then I'll be walking back down. And then we're going to go for a little bit of an adventure. So, thank you for joining me today. We're gonna have some fun, and we'll see what happens. So, good morning, Harjot. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Eddie. You're going to La Ronde? I've always wanted to see it. We're not going to go into La Ronde, because literally I just, it's just me today. Well, maybe I'll go in. Maybe I'll see if it looks worth it, and if it does, I can just go in by myself and ride a couple rides. But we'll see how it is. We'll see where we end up. The other day we were walking by here and I saw a street festival happening. So it's just like, well, I gotta check this out. But also, if anyone knows their way around Montreal and you see them going the wrong way, don't be afraid to let me know. That always helps. Also, this is probably the only time in my life I've been someplace and just not brought a sweater because I didn't have room in my bag. It's the only time I've actually actively regretted it. So, lesson learned. Canada can still get cold sometimes, even in summer. You feel like I would have learned this lesson over like 30 some years. But no, definitely not. Hello, Marcus. Good to see you today. Hopefully you're doing well out there. Starting a little earlier today, just because I could. Also I'm only going to be in this current place for one more day. So I figure let's try to explore as much as I can from the easy area to get to. What's cracking? Good question. But yeah, I definitely am enjoying Montreal a great deal. I think there's a lot here that's really cool. There's a lot here that's really nice. It's all very, well, it's fairly clean. It's not like crazy clean. But that's a place I'm gonna have to check out on the way back. Any place that looks like a really big, exciting bookstore, I'm always just like, yes, give this to me. Give me my books. Also, it's good to switch up your habits sometimes. Do you fly back? No, we're taking the train. It's about, well, it's a 1 hour flight. When you track that, usually you spend like an hour or two in an airport before that. It'll still take you an hour or so to get home. So really, a flight will be about 4 hour experience. The train is literally just 5 hours. You still have to get there, of course. You still have to ride it home. But I'm actually going to be taking the train back from Ottawa, which is even better. Not sure how far it is between both cities. Well, Montreal is about an hour and a half from Ottawa. And Ottawa is about 5 hours from Toronto. So, yeah. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Although, funny enough, in Europe, if you take a 5-hour train, you can end up in a completely different country. Sometimes multiple. Alright, was this the one that had... I think this was the one that looked like it had a street fair going on today. Yeah, 1.5 hours to Germany. There you go. The Netherlands is probably 1 hour to Belgium. That makes sense. I do want to one day go to Belgium. I have a friend who lives there and has been there for many, many years. Funny enough, I have a tattoo on the back of my arm that just says tattoo. But he was the one who first wrote that on the back of my arm, and I was just like, oh, that's really funny. And that's kind of what inspired me to be like, oh my God, that's really funny. So I got the tattoo. But every time I look at the tattoo, I'm reminded of him. So sometimes friendships can last a long time in different ways. Stockholm to Copenhagen was like 6 hours. Oof. Funny enough, you wouldn't think those two would be so far away, but still, it's still pretty close. I imagine it would be a similar amount of time between Toronto and, I think between Toronto and DC, so capital to capital. Sorry, Ottawa to DC, between capital to capital, it's probably only 5 to 6 hours. Maybe 8. Yeah, maybe 10. Just like, it's not that long. Or maybe it's exactly double the time I think it is. Je te donne un rêve. I give you a dream. Yeah, I think I could fit in Montreal. I think it's an interesting place. Went from Stockholm to the northernmost city of Sweden, and it took 14 hours. We only had a delay of 4 hours on the way back. It's like 18 hours. Ooh. Yeah, that's a little much. Sleeper train though. The train through Sweden must have been beautiful. Like that seems worth the price of admission right there. That's the one thing in Montreal. Everyone has their cigarettes. It's like, oh. Like, I know it's bad for you, but still nice to, adds a fun vibe. L'échange. Oh, Seduction's still here. That used to be in Touronno. Yes, it was. We had Northern Lights on the way back in the middle of nowhere. That's cool. Ah, that would be so cool to see. Bouquinerie. What's a bouquinerie? Painting store? Yeah, a German friend in the cabin cried when she called her mother when she saw the Northern Lights. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, it's nothing. It's for sale. So it really is a book place then. It is very magical. That sounds incredible. Like, I'm just like, that would just be beautiful. I mean, I will say I'm very much fond of, is this Montreal Ave? It is. I don't know if they have it blocked off permanently or if it's like a part of a fair or something. But yeah, my goal is to end up on the island to check out La Ronde and to check out Expo 67. Because why? Oh my God. This could be a first and this could be a favorite. But we all see what's happening here. Oh my God, it's cardboard. Ooh, that's incredible. Oh my God, I love it so much. I got a boopin and I got a dinosaur. That's a 2-for-1 right there. Did you see the Royal Lights? I have. When I lived in North Bay, I remember there was one night we had rehearsal for a show I was in, and out of nowhere, everyone's just like, stop everything, come outside. And we all did, and we looked up and the sky just ripped open. It was the most vibrant, I'd seen the Northern Lights like a couple times before then, but this was the first time like the entire sky was on fire. And it was incredible. Everything, like every color you could possibly imagine, red, green, purple. It was absolutely insane. And it was probably one of the most beautiful and amazing experiences I will ever have. So that will always stay with me. And like there's a couple times I'd seen it before, but it was always only in green. It's like North Bay was just far enough north that you could get it sometimes. But overall in my life, I've probably only seen it like 4 or 5 times. But that one time was really special. Because it also happened like earlier in the night too. Because it would have only been about like 8 or 9 o'clock. But yeah, entire sky was just absolutely brilliant. Red and purple are quite rare in Northern Europe, but the Netherlands is usually purple for some reason. Oh, interesting. I wonder if it has something to do with the magnetic poles. It's uncommon here. Yeah. Here's the thing, I don't feel like it's common anywhere unless you're in like the Arctic Circle. It's just interesting to see like, that's, you know, a universal thing that I couldn't even begin to understand or explain. All I know is that when it happens, it's very special and very beautiful. Do as the locals do, and if they're crossing, I'm crossing. Man, this whole area is pedestrian. This is pedestrian as far as you can see. Man, it's amazing what happens when a city doesn't bow down to the car. Like, just look at all the people. It's like Tuesday at what, like 10:30? Not even? Just look how many people are out. I guess it's 10:50. Oh, I started early. That's why. Whoops. Person playing the ukulele, like a goddamn star. That's awesome. Like, this is so nice. Okay, what's this car doing? They're not moving iron. It's like a pedestrian. Here's the thing. Not only is it a pedestrian zone, look how far it goes on for. Like, that's crazy. I'm supposed to be exploring to the Ronde, which is like way off on the side. I find Montreal more aesthetically pleasing than Toronto. Sorry, not sorry. Oh no, it is. It quantifiably is. There's a very specific interest in beauty and coherency to the city that I think is very, very striking. It's like they picked an aesthetic very early and they stuck to it. And they did a great job of building it up, exemplifying it. Yeah. Yeah, this is lovely. Looks like they maintain the old buildings rather than demolishing them. That is true. One thing about Toronto that does not help is that the wires, when you look up, you know what, to be fair, I don't mind the wires. But there is something nice about just having everything be an open, pure blue sky. Like, I think that's rather lovely. And here it's like the cars are actually paying attention, so they don't hit people, rather than just like clamoring out into the middle of the road. Like, I keep seeing that building in the distance. I don't know exactly what it is, but I am interested. The city has great visual interest without having to just make everything big. Like, this is, like, it's really nice. So many trees, so many trees. Which also makes the city, like, just smell nicer. Like, look how far this goes. I've been walking this whole time and I'm not even like, I don't even think I'm close to being towards the end of it. Although I am surprised that they didn't do a FIFA thing here. So you kind of figure, like Toronto and Vancouver got in on it. Should they have? Debatable. But also I kind of like that they're not. Good Europe vibes. It does give Europe vibes. Like, I know I've said it before, but like Montreal's got an energy to it that I actually am really digging. And it still seems fairly laid out in a very competent way. Because the Olympic Stadium is under renovation. Is that what's in front of us, is the Olympic Stadium? I guess it must be. But funny enough, I thought that was over on the island with Expo 67, which proves I don't actually know anything about Montreal. But I'm enjoying learning. Correct. Ah. I mean, I guess that makes sense. If the Olympic Stadium wasn't available, I can't imagine them holding up FIFA stuff. Like how people think that hiding their face makes them less obvious on camera. Just like, all that does is highlight you. Because suddenly now I'm paying attention to you. It's so weird. So that's the Olympic Stadium, aka the Big O. Haven't seen many homeless people or drug addicts, right? That's another thing I'm kind of thinking about in Toronto, is I'm just like, oh, Drug Ford literally just closed all the safe injection sites. Meaning that the drugs aren't gonna go away, they're just gonna be pushed into the streets. So, like, what are we doing here, buddy? You're not solving the problem, all you're doing is making it worse and more visible. Anyways, the tower in front of you is the Olympics. Yes, excellent, excellent. I can't even remember what street I'm supposed to go over on. But I'm just like, now there's a part of me just like, if I don't end up at Ronde, that's also fine. I can just wander a while. This is nice. Many benches everywhere, right? It's almost like the city is designed for people. It's crazy. Who would do that? I wonder if it's this way in winter. Probably not, let's be fair. My other thing is I'm just like, I've also not been in love with Toronto's art scene for many years now. I'm just like, does Montreal have a better one for me? It's a long walk to go to La Ronde. Will you take the metro? No, 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 that's the point. We're going for a walk. I know at some point I have to turn right, but I was looking for a specific street name to do that. It's like, that's the point of these channels. People want to see me walk for a long time, or at least see a lot of different things. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I just want to see a lot of different things. I don't think the drug problem is ever be significantly reduced in Canada. It will only get worse. Well, the way things are going, for sure. I'm just like, if you don't give people options to get off of drugs, they're just going to do more drugs in more dangerous places. And then that just endangers more people. Like, the only reason to do that is because you purposely want to make things more dangerous for people, meaning you want to increase the police presence, meaning you want to make things more dangerous for marginalized communities, meaning you want to make things like it's a pretty transparent attempt to like look like you're doing the it's so stupid. I don't know. I don't love a lot of the things that are happening on this planet right now. But also, what do I know other than most things? Like, look how nice this is. It's just a beautiful little park. L'Avenue de Montreal. Look at these. I don't know what these jelly bean looking things are, but they're kind of cute. Look at them. There's also just something nice about like walking and hearing the sound of bikes pass you. Okay, I really hope the next street is the one I'm looking for. Are you on vacation from Montreal event currently? Are you from Toronto? I am from Toronto, yes. My name is Matti. I'm a tour guide from Toronto. And I'm actually in Montreal right now with my friend's Fringe show. So she needed a stage manager. She won CAF this year, which means that she got into a whole bunch of fringes across Canada. And she was lucky enough to need a stage manager. So I reached out and said, I'm happy to do it. So I'll be joining her here in Montreal. And then after this, we're gonna go to Ottawa. And then after Ottawa, we're gonna do Ottawa. I'm in Toronto for 2 weeks. Between that, helping another friend out with their Fringe show. So from there, I will be doing Montreal, so let's see, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto. Then from there, I go to Winnipeg and then Calgary with my show. Calgary is the only place I'm doing my show in this year. But from there, where else am I going? Where else am I going? Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Victoria, Vancouver. So yeah, lots of traveling. So the benefit to that is I'm gonna get to explore so much of the country. That's just, I'm really excited to see. I think it's gonna be beautiful to get to show off so much of this, like show so many areas. But yeah, Montreal so far has definitely stolen a part of my heart already. I'm just like, this place is just beautiful and nice and like pedestrian friendly, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Montreal. Good morning, Toronto. Thank you, Zach. Good morning to you, my friend. Welcome to the chat. By the way, if you ever just, for the people who never message, if you ever just message, usually I'm game and will respond to you. Just as a thing. Never feel like you can't say hello, but feel no pressure to if you're not comfortable with it. Some people just put me on in the background and mute it. Which, to be fair, I don't blame you. You gotta work, but you want some nice, beautiful views, and that's hopefully what Montreal gives us. I'm just enjoying how much greenery there is around everything. Montreal in summer is awesome. Try to visit Old Montreal as well. I want to, for sure. So what's happening is tomorrow is the day where me and Diane have to go to Ottawa because we have our tech rehearsal there, and then she has a big preview night. So we're gonna go do that. And then we're back in, we're back here in Montreal for the next 3 days to do the last 3 shows. And then we're back in Ottawa for like the rest of the run. So it's a little bit of an interesting juggling act in the middle there, but like, I was here with Ottawa Fringe a little bit last year, but I was here specifically doing reviews for people. But this year I need to be more on my reviews because I realized I missed a lot of shows that I saw. That's not fair to the shows because there was a lot of good shows that I would like to properly document that I missed. By the way, if I'm not going the right way, please tell me, because I don't know. I have a bunch of family members in Montreal. Anytime I get to visit them, it's fun. Yeah. I'm just like, I haven't even got to explore a lot of the nightlife here, but I'm already just like, this is nice. This is just, I am enjoying this. Also, I think I know much more French than I think I do. And I get out and like, to just get to chat with people or even ordering things at the restaurant. I'm just trying to be like, I'm only learning. But they're all just like, no, you're doing okay. I'm just like, I'm sorry, my accent's terrible, but here it is. I'm also like, this isn't to sound arrogant or anything, but I've realized I'm a lot smarter than I give myself credit for. Because like, when I see something, I have a really good ability to kind of pick it apart in my head really, really quickly. So, I don't know. I'm realizing that by exploring my ideas of how to, like how people present art, I can very quickly point out in my brain what works and what doesn't. I guess it comes from like a long influence of being, like I grew up loving art, loving video games, loving movies, and having that discerning eye of being able to pick it apart really helped me. And now I just kind of do that with everything, but in like a beneficial way. If that makes sense? I don't know. They'll appreciate the effort and amazing weather today for a walk. Oh my God, it's so nice. This is like such a good day. Did you visit Old Town of Montreal? Not yet. I haven't visited Old Montreal yet. Funny enough, I did many years ago. I came here once with my ex. And we got to spend a couple days here, and one day we spent in Old Montreal. But yeah. I mean, there's so much here to see. And even just exploring these back streets and stuff. I actually find this, I'm not gonna say more interesting, but like, I find this all very, very beautiful. So Rue Rachel. So this would have been the area where I started the walk. Rue Rachel up at Saint Denis. I'll see if I can get it'll have to be a day when I come back. But I will for sure do a walk in Old Montreal. Yeah, there's also the part like, the person I'm working with is also my friend. So I'm just like, at some point, I just sit down and be like, we need to like really delineate like when you're my boss and when you're my friend. Because, yeah, I feel like that's just healthier for everybody. But yeah, if anyone does want to see anything, always let me know. I'm happy to explore. I'm also just enjoying, well, to be fair, I'm enjoying most things here. Like even the school, like it has this whole kite motif on it. So you just look at them. École Saint-Joseph. Saint-Joseph? Ugh. That's one thing I wish I had more of is my French tongue. I've got what I call a stupid tongue. It doesn't really know how to say the words correctly, so it just tries its best with a Northern Ontario accent. Although those are still like some of my favorite, those are still some of the places I hope most to be able to go and do walks. So just like doing a walk tour where I walk all of North Bay in a day, that would be fun. Maybe it might take 2 days. But I just lost a car. Well, I'm glad those exist everywhere. God, they look so dumb. Hello, Christian. Good to see you, my friend. This has to be one of the first streets I've seen without bike paths on it, actually, now that I think about it. Okay, so I think that bridge in front of us, I'm pretty sure that's the bridge I'm angling towards. I don't know for sure, but I think it is. Haven't seen you for a while, but I'm glad you're back. Thank you, David. It's good to be back. I must have just hit 11 o'clock, because that's when, 11:10. Okay, so this was when I said I was gonna start the stream. I didn't give YouTube a ton of time. I also wasn't sure I would walk today. But then I was just like, no, I should walk today. This seems like a good walk. Your French is better than mine. See, that's what all my partners tell me. Un bec français. Centre de services scolaires de Montréal. LAB. That's what I love about cycling races, the whir of the bikes going by so excited. Isn't it kind of fun? It's like, you know what? This is actually legitimately lovely. My hometown is Oshawa, Ontario, but I'm now in the Belleville, Trenton area. Oh, very cool. Well, whenever I take the train, we always end up going through there as well. So Belleville seems like a lovely place to be. I do want to make efforts. I'd love it to have a car and then just over a week do walk streams from as many small towns in Ontario as I can. I think that would just be so much fun. And shining such a spotlight on so many places that just don't get as much love or interest from most people. Centreville, so that's downtown. If I go up that way, you can see where how many partners do you have now? I mean, at least 2. You want to make sure that you're well stocked up for the winter. Oops, I'm way behind. All good, LA. All I want to say is thank you for joining, which I believe is merci à I just want to say Joanne, but I don't think that's correct. Do you watch any Montreal YouTube streamers? I haven't found that many, funny enough. I figured such a rich city like this should have more Montreal WalkTubers that come up. But I guess they might call it actually, now that I think about it, I'm looking for English words. I'm probably not looking at French. I should add French words to my things.
Why have I not thought about this until right now? I am not, remember how I said earlier how smart I was? Yeah, I take all of that back. I am a silly little muppet for not even considering that. They have a lot of European cars here. I don't know why I'm still waiting here. I could have easily just gone another way. No, maybe I will. Maybe I'll go up to this street. Yeah. I find it so strange there are almost no Montreal walk streamers where Toronto has so many, don't know why. I think it just takes one person to do it really well in a city or to really resonate, to have other people prop up around you. So like Toronto is well known for we have Johnny, we have Henry, we have Ken, we have Tara. Like those are the big ones, right? And so because of them, other people have kind of cropped up around them. Like that's where Eddie got his start. And because Eddie got his start, that's where I'm stepping in. And like, it's given space for other people to be able to carve out little niches. And now I'm trying to do something where I'm just like, okay, I'm not just Toronto, I'm also wherever I am. So, I don't know. Is that positively or negatively affecting my views? I don't know, I can't tell you. But it's interesting because it's what I enjoy. And I want to add more of a travel spin, so if I'm back in Toronto, I'll be acting more as tour guide. But if I'm out and about, I'll get the experience of being able to share different parts of the city with people, so. Benefits both ways. Montreal. Montreal. That's actually really clever. And Vasily, yes, Vasily, Yoshi, Mao Chao, obviously my son, Green Knight. But he doesn't count because he does something else. But see, that's what's great about it, is that he's starting his own niche and now we're getting other night tubers. So I'm just like, all it takes is one person to do something successful and we all kind of like follow suit and support. I don't know, I think that's magical. Medano, of course, Medano, Liam, Kyle Walker, Alicia. I don't think I'm missing any, am I? I probably am. I definitely am. But I'm just like, there's all these people who try something, who start something, and then everyone else kind of comes around and forms the community. And yeah. Actually, okay, my internet was so bad last night, but I tuned in briefly to see that Mao Chao was filming something. And so I hopped on really quickly to be like, hi guys, I love you, I miss you. They're just like, okay, hi. I was like, oh. Just nice to see him still keeping at it. But there are also like adjacent folks like Brad Palmer, Brad and Marie from North Bay. There's Lorelei, Sweetly Lorelei from Niagara. Like we're just popping up all over Canada. But for some reason Montreal doesn't have their strong one yet, which is just kind of crazy to me. Just Sally was kind of a troublemaker. Oh, that one. Yeah, I've never actually seen her streams. But I'm just like, I mean, I guess that's a lane to go down, but I don't know how successful it will be long term. Here's the thing. I find that if you put out positivity, you generally return positivity. I don't want to say yesterday, like, okay, some of you know what happened in Orlando, where I wasn't included in the program. It greatly affected my sales of the show. But I randomly had someone reach out last night who was just like, I know that Orlando refunded your participation fee in the festival, but because of what happened and just because you've been such a nice person, such a light to everyone, like you're always helping, you're always trying to make things better for people. Like because of this, I want to personally refund you your venue fee. And I was just like, you do not have to do that. But then she went ahead and did. And it made me cry because I was just like, that is the most generous thing anyone has ever done for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I mean, apart from your parents are always generous and they sacrifice so much for you every time. But like this was someone who didn't need to do any of that, or like who my connection with was very tangential, but who I greatly enjoyed. She's probably one of the best actors in the Fringe, like point blank period. I'm not gonna like dox or anything, But like, yeah, just such a touching thing that she did not need to do, but she did anyways. And I was just so incredibly moved and thankful for that experience. Don't forget about Sapand. Oh yes, good old Sapand. Who else are we missing? We didn't miss anyone, did we? There's like just Walk Touronno, who I've come across a couple times. I mean, of course there's Randy, but Randy hasn't fully dove into this yet. I think he's still testing the water for some reason. I'm just like, don't, just go. Walk, have fun, look at trains, you're fine. Like, you can do this, you're great, you're doing okay. Love those Touronno boys. There's so many of them, and they do so great. But I'm just like, all these places here are just so cute. Look at that. Look what someone did there. Like, just genuinely how friggin' lovely. Hello, princess. It's been so long, it's great to see you. That's amazing. I would love to know who that is. I'll never say who it. She asked me specifically not to say who it was, and so I will respect her wishes. But I will say that she has brought 3 shows to. I've seen 3 of her shows in Fringe. 2 of them are like a sequel prequel situation, but like every time she is absolutely an incredible actress, and I would argue probably the best in Fringe. So, yeah. It just definitely wasn't Elvira. Someone may be related to her, but definitely not Elvira. Orlando Fringe folks are the best. They really are. Like, funny enough, the first time I like really met this person, we were both doing Cincy Fringe together, and I honestly thought that they didn't like me. But then okay, a part of my mental stuff is I just kind of always assume people don't like me. And so it's a real struggle for me to recognize that like people do actually love and appreciate me, especially for something that I have like such an, like theater will always give you some kind of inferiority complex where you're just like, you don't know what you can actually do, and you always, like, you're just like, I don't deserve to be here. Someone else could have taken my spot. But at the end of the day, you're the one doing the stuff, and people appreciate that, and they love you, and they want to come around you and support you. So, yeah. In my brain, the way my disability works is that even if I know something to be true, or if I know something to be factual, it can still be really hard for my brain to accept it just because of the way that it works. So to have someone do something so palpably lovely, where they were literally just like, I did not need to do this, but I just really wanted to bless you. I'm just like, I feel very blessed. And like, it kind of reframed them in an entirely new way in my head, but it also reframed me and my position in Fringe in like this completely different way, because now I'm just like, wow, someone thought that I deserved this. I'm not crying, you're crying. No, it was just really, really, really nice. Because I'm just like, if someone else thinks I deserve this, then I need to think I deserve this. So, who knows? This person probably just set me up for like a long time belief that I can actually do the things that I've always wanted to do. And I'm now just kind of, I've only really been doing Fringe for 4 years now, and like only touring heavily for 3. And so like, I go up against shows or people who have literally been doing this for decades longer than me. But I have some people who are now just being like, no, you're good enough to do this, and you should. And I'm just like, that's hard to hear as someone who has never believed that they could, but now I have no choice. Now I have to believe that I can, because someone who I look up to and admire has said that I'm good enough and did that huge blessing to me. Well, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna go find. I want to go find this silly theme park. I need to stop talking about this. I am literally like, I'm tearing up a little. That's fine. I'm wearing sunglasses, so no one can tell. Also, I'm realizing I'm worth much more than I think I am. Cause this stage managing gig I might have gotten with Jimmy, he's just like, the rate for this person is literally like twice what you're currently evaluating yourself at, and that's a low ball. I'm just like, oh, should I be charging more for what I do? The answer is absolutely yes, but I'm doing this show because I love Diane. Do you ride bikes? Here's the thing. I learned how to ride a bike several times in my life. I never rode it consistently for like long periods of time. So, technically I know how to ride a bike. Have I technically forgotten how to ride a bike? Yes, absolutely. Sorry folks, I think there was a little hiccup there. I hope I'm back now. You always have a fan friend of me. Aw, thanks, Christian. At this point, I consider you a friend. Anyone who sat through, literally anyone who sat through actual chaos, I'm just like, oh, you're long term. This is fine. I'm from Iraq and applied for Quebec skills worker and became migrant. Oh, that's amazing. Good for you, Elaf. But I hope that you're having a good time here. Or if you're not here yet, I hope that you get the chance to come and experience this beautiful city and country for yourself. The path seems nice for riding. It really does. Here's the thing, like, there are bike paths all over the city. It's kind of incredible. And just like, the city actually feels like it was designed for people and not for cars, which is amazing. Big hugs. Aw. No. But yeah, that's where my brain's been the past couple hours. So just like, that was a truly special and very, very, just, you know, at some point in your life, it's hard to acknowledge that you have worth, but you do have worth. And here's the thing, I tell that to everyone else all the time, but like, do I believe it myself? Well, now I have to, because other people have given me a monetary, like literally a monetary thing, being like, yes, you have worth. This is a fraction of how much you are worth, but I am happy to do this because the situation you found yourself in wasn't fair, and I want to bless you. And I'm just like, well, that's amazing. Yeah, I'll stop talking about that. But I'm just like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a special experience. Okay, it looks like I'm on the right path, so we're almost there. And Christian, you can see what a real Canadian amusement park looks like. Not a theme park. There is no theme unless the theme is bad theme park. A lot of us locals don't like the bike paths. There's too many. Hopefully the new mayor changes it. Oh no, don't do that. You don't want more cars. Wow. Unless you do want more cars, but I can't imagine why. Here's my question. Why do people hate bike paths? Because in my mind, they're nothing but positive. Like, I can't imagine having a bike path and being like, I don't like people getting to work safely and economically. Okay, so this was the direction that Mark took me down. There can never be too many bike lanes that's where my mental state is. Because like, Toronto is a city that can be great. And there are so many ways it can be great. And one of the things holding it back, I think, is the reliance on cars. Bikes make cities so much better. They make them cleaner, they make them more... Here's the thing, the more bike lanes you have, the better traffic will be. Because the more people who take bikes means that there's fewer people who take cars. We want more accessibility and ease of driving and parking. Delivering merch for truck drivers hurts a lot of businesses. People can't park to go to these match course bike lanes. I feel like that's more on the businesses though. Like if you run a business, granted, there are certain places that like, I'm not buying that. People can't park to go to these merch because of bike lanes. I don't believe that for a second. The reason why is because if you have a bike lane, here's the thing, who are the people who are actually shopping at your business? Having a bike lane in front won't prevent people from parking. Like parking is just something, parking should never be the go-to. People who have cars are very blessed and they have the opportunity to drive wherever they want to at whatever they do, like whenever they want to. But like living in a city, you're not getting most of your business from people who are driving in on cars. Most places, unless you're a specialty business, in which case you should probably be on the suburban outscapes where people do drive. But like most places who run businesses are running things like cafes or running things like, and having parking in front will actually detract from people coming in most situations. So I think it depends on the business, but I think that's more on the business to know where they're best, like where it's best for them to go. Specifically in areas there is no residence and it's commercial buildings. See, that makes more sense. That is not an area that should be prioritizing bike lanes. Bike lanes should always be prioritized specifically for places that don't require large commercial things. So that's just on city planners. Are more bike lanes better? Yes, but you kind of have to plan for around the reality of living in those areas. So I do understand what you're saying there. Wouldn't there be less cars with more bike lanes? Yes. The one stipulation I will say for that is like grocery stores downtown, but they should really plan for places where they can have those deliveries delivered in and out easily, but also at nighttime, because most of these places shouldn't be doing delivery during the day because most of those people won't have customers during that time. So like, it doesn't make sense. Oh no. The whole thought there is just like, yeah. Is this, the question always comes down to, is your city built for people or is your city built for cars? If your city's built for cars, you're screwed because no one's gonna like your city. If your city's built for people, then you will inevitably find ways to make sure that the people have the experience. Like people are the ones with money, cars don't have money. And to encourage business, you want to encourage the maximum amount of people to flow through your space. And doing that, one of the best ways you can do is make sure that you have areas that are high pedestrian. So if you have a high pedestrian area, you are just more likely to have people stumble across your space. So if you're worried about traffic, you want to make sure that you have a strong, like here's the thing, in most of these places, if you have a high enough residential density, if you have a high enough space, most of these places will have parking included. So people will end up parking and then wandering around to multiple spaces at the same time. Again, that's just kind of better for everyone involved because you're more likely to stumble upon something and you're more likely to actually go out and enjoy it. Maybe I'm just preaching to the choir here, but in Netherlands, businesses are performing better when car lanes are removed. But I understand not every city, country is the same. Most of them are. People will behave in a natural, like, again, if you're building something for people, inevitably you want to cater to the people and making that idea comfortable. I live in a car-centered city and it's awful. Orlando is the worst. Orlando is by far the worst car city I've ever seen. But they put bike lanes on Chabanel Street and don't compare Netherlands to Montreal. It's a completely different environment. I mean, fairly similar in a lot of ways. Montreal by far is the most European feeling Canadian city. And like Montreal has done so much right. Having bike lane, but like strategic bike lane planning is also imperative because then you actually don't piss off people at the wrong time. Because like any change takes time, right? You can't just force everything to change overnight. As much as I would love to try. But when you do stuff like that, if you don't do it fast enough with the right education, with the right like progress. Anyways, there's a lot to consider there. Many old towns are car free and they only allow very few cars and it works fine. Delivery trucks are allowed before 11. That's an interesting way. Netherlands bike capital, they have it in their culture. Many European countries are transforming now from being car focused to more pedestrian bike focused. I've been to the Netherlands, it's not the same at all. Are you following up on the football? Oh God, not at all. I don't like sports. And so like having the World Cup going on, it doesn't affect my life at all. I don't know what's happening. I don't know who's playing. I really don't care. Like, from everything I understand, FIFA makes like the Eurovision controversies look minor. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm overly fond of them. I don't know. I'm not really a sports person. Okay. I am trusting this map to tell me where I'm going. Even if I don't know where or what that is. So. This is the CBC Radio Canada building. Very nice, very nice. Stockholm is a very spread out city with long distances and big car focused suburbs, but they invested a lot in bike infrastructure lately and it's paying off. Interesting. It's funny because you think of Europe as being so progressive in like so many ways. To have such a debate around this sort of thing is kind of interesting. I don't know if you can see, but I can finally just see like a peak of the Ronde coming through the thing over there. If it can work there, it can work in many cities. I have noticed that the generation that grew up with cars tend to, like, a lot of times if they don't come from, I don't know, cars and bikes is a difficult challenge for any city to navigate. Because I feel like one wants to stay rooted in like what has been and one wants to try to look for what's forward. And technically anything is possible, but that doesn't mean that everything will happen, you know? So, we'll see. We'll see where things end up inevitably. That being said, I'm just excited to go over and see everything that's happening. Look, you can see the roller coasters over there now. Is this a split? Oh, motherfucker. You have to literally cross 3 lanes of street before we get to the other side. Or this way, I would only have to cross 2 lanes of street. This is just offensive. I don't like this at all. Don't know what this guy's doing. Well, I'm gonna make sure to hit the button this time. Same for Reykjavik, not a big city, but very car focused. Now they invest in bike infrastructure and it's getting popular. The way I've always understood the math and will always understand the math of the situation is if you want less cars on the road, give people other ways to get around so that not everyone is forced to drive. As someone who is around a lot of people who have mobility issues, I will always understand that not everyone is able to do things that I am able to do. And I cannot take that for granted. I'm just gonna quickly run across here. Well, that's just a dead end right there. All right. I was shown that there was some kind So I'm starting to suspect that that bridge way up there, I'm starting to suspect that that was a bridge I was supposed to get onto. Because I can see bikes up there. I don't see people walking though. I figure if there was a bridge up there, there must be a bridge down here, right? Right? Oh God, I'm gonna have to turn back, aren't I? Well. Yeah, probably. It's my issue. I have mobility issues. I can only drive. I wish I could go for walks. Yeah, in situations like that. The one thing I did notice about Montreal is there is not a lot of ride-sharing options either, which I did find surprising. Like, you have Lyft and Uber, but not everyone can afford to go everywhere all the time. But like, one of my things is just like the better you have, like the better your bike infrastructure, the more likely it is that you would be able to get rides or you would be able to go the places you would need to without having to have all those traffic issues all the time. So I do completely understand your point, but like, yeah. I feel like then it's almost on the businesses to make sure that they have spaces that they can do things. Again, it's a hard nut to crack. Yeah, I definitely think I was supposed to be on that bridge. But then how would you get down again? Where am I? Like, yeah. So, that bridge up there, I'm supposed to be on that bridge. So I went the wrong way and am now beside possibly the world's ugliest and most unsafe highway that I've seen so far. So that's nice. All right. Well, I tried. How do you get up on that bridge? I mean, I could Spider-Man it. All right, so that's strike one on me because I really should have known. I looked up what road I was supposed to go down. I did everything right, and then I still went the wrong way. This is why I'm a tour guide in Toronto and not in Montreal. But if you end up in Toronto at any time, or you know someone who's going to see them and you want to give something a special experience, why not give them a customized walking tour? I am better at walking in my own city than I am here, so please consider hiring me for your events or for your any kind of trip you are in Toronto. If you are enjoying the content, or you like seeing me flustered and having deep conversations about bike infrastructure in modern urban areas, consider subscribing to the channel. It helps us out in a great way. So thank you for joining. We are going to keep going for a walk, but I think it is safe to say this will not be the journey that we expected. That's the Jacques Cartier Bridge. The European explorer discovered Canada after the Indigenous people. Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, the bridge itself is very impressive. Very cool. It looks like in order for me to get to the island, I would either have to, from here, I'd have to go back and take the ferry, or I would have to go up and do the thing. So, I saw like the tops of some roller coasters. I don't think that counts. I am disappointed. But also, like, this makes a great story. And also, it's a very me thing to happen, where I'm just like, I'm gonna go to this really cool place and do this really cool thing, and then I immediately go the wrong way. Just like, well, sometimes that's just what happens. I take the metro. Yeah, I could. But I feel like at this point, maybe I'll still get there. Maybe I'll get there later. I do have technically all day off today, and it's still only like super early in the morning. I was just really excited to kind of get to the island and explore the island more, but oh, there's the hospital that Mark told us about. It's nice, actually, if you've never taken it. I took it in one day. Me and Diane were staying in Lachine. We ended up taking the metro in one day, and it was quite nice, quite lovely. Really, really clean, really quick, very well done. The Montreal like I will say, the Montreal Metro, like, props to it. Subway done right in every way. I would say of all the subways I've taken, it is probably the cleanest and fastest. Very smooth, very quick as well. I was actually shocked by the speed of it, because I was just like, oh, we're kicking into high gear like right away. All right, I am now stuck at a red light, and we'll have to wait until I can pass. Because yeah, I'm definitely not in like the good walking area right now. But this is my own fault. This is 1,000,000% my own fault. And also, it's nice to know that Montreal has some ugly bits. This very much reminds me of like Philadelphia. Like, but this is what you call poor infrastructure. Because like that light's red up over there, and no one's coming through the throughway. But this way is all backed up. So I can't even cross because there's cars that are down here, but they're all stopped at this green light because up there is a red light halfway between. Now it's green, but even so, it's still gonna take some minutes to filter through. Like, this is just poorly done. And watch, as soon as that turns green, this turns red. It's like, technically, I think I'm supposed to be able to cross right now, but I can't tell because the car's blocking the way. Yeah, I literally would have missed that light because these guys are all being jerks. Anyways, so we're gonna go back into the part of Montreal that's actually walkable and nice. By the way, if you want to help the channel out, feel free to like and subscribe for more geopolitical nonsense. Complaining about infrastructure. Also, it is my friend Marcel's birthday today. I can't be there in person to wish him happy birthday, but I shall do it on the line. Oh, let's see. Almost 12? Hmm? Let's see. Good. But you can kind of tell, like, this area. Hmm? Sorry, English. Brazil. Ah! You kind of get a sense of the Montreal skyline here. Some buildings are bigger. Yeah, definitely not in like a nice area though. See, this is kind of this is like a, you can see the Montreal car influence over here for sure. But like, one of the best car examples you can do is to actually limit a city's size by having a highway on the outside of it that has throughways in and out, and then has like one major intersection that kind of goes to other cities. But like that way it kind of keeps traffic in the middle low, while also, you know, being able to explore and do more things. How did I get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. There is a tent city beside us. It looks like I can go up and then over and then into the city. So I think that's what I will try to do. Well, why would I cross here? There's nothing to cross to. I have to go that way. It's the little things. I will be happy to get back into the area where I want to be, instead of in this. Yeah, this was a mistake. I made a wrong turn at Albuquerque. It looks like I can go back that way too. Back that way might be wiser, because then I'll be more into the area that I know. But also I see another way into the city over there, so we'll figure it out. Yeah, Montreal went from very, very attractive and beautiful to very ugly very quickly. But you can kind of see the tent city over there. It's just unfortunate to see. Like, no one wants that anywhere. But also the fact that it exists at all is kind of a shame. This is a strode. Oh, this is more of like a stryway. They put a little sidewalk beside a highway with no buffer zone in between. This area is not the best, no postcard pictures for sure. Hey, here's the thing, no city can exist without this kind of infrastructure, so you understand why it's here. I just kind of wandered into it unexpectedly. And most people would not do what I did, because they would have their Google Maps open and they would be able to actually see where the heck they're going. When I have this stream going, I have no idea where I'm going or what's happening. So I just end up in places. I just have to hope I have a fair sense of direction to make it back. If you want to find out where I go next, so do I. Well, my plan from here is just take the first right I can actually go down and head back into what I presume is downtown. And then head back to the area that I think I can know or like walk through pretty well. So that's all we can do. But gaming, R10 Gaming, I do appreciate you being so open and upfront about your concerns with bike lanes, because I feel like it is something that we should all be able to talk about, because something should have the right to, like, there are always drawbacks to any change that's made, and like collective for the greater good is still not always best for everyone. So the best solution is out there, but we need to have these dialogues in order to figure it out. But like, I appreciate having the new perspective. But at the same time, I do want to make sure like bike lanes aren't being demonized, because it should ultimately be up to the businesses there to make sure that they are able to facilitate people who are, you know, it isn't fair for you to have to worry about that when at the end of the day, like, it is something that comes along. Yeah, how did we get that conversation from, like, well, I guess we're just in Montreal. There's bike lanes everywhere, which is nice. I still think it's a nice thing. But here's the thing I noticed. There's no balconies on these buildings. No one wants a Juliet balcony. You want like a full-on, look at the balcony on top there. That's gorgeous. Although I think that might just be, is that a balcony? I hope that's a balcony. Oh, Montreal. Find the key, jeu d'évasion. Oh, it's another place up for sale. Should I come to Montreal and start an escape room? I haven't made escape rooms in a long time. Oh yeah, for those who don't know, I used to make escape rooms. I designed them, we put them together. It was quite the adventure, actually. I had a chance to see Juliet's Balcony in Verona, Italy last year, but we had car trouble. Oh no! I actually saw a show in Fringe yesterday called The Balcony Scene. That was a lot of fun. They did a good job on it. I see an interesting sculpture up there that I want to go check out. But we are on Boulevard René Levesque. I would cross, but I want to see what that sculpture is. Is that guy just giving a finger? I think he is. Hello, Strawberry Field. Good to see you. We're having a good day so far. Enjoying the beautiful weather. Look at all that pollen in the air. Oh my God. Is it breezy out there, windy? It is pretty windy. It is nice though. Like it is not a terribly warm temperature, but it's also not cool. It's like perfectly mild, which is nice. If this was a bath, it would be perfect. Autumn livraison. Yeah, so I immediately know where I am again, which is nice. I'm slowly getting the hang of Montreal. I think you have to walk north until you hit Logan Road. That will allow you to get on top of that bridge to cross. See, now I feel bad because I told everyone it's just like, well, everything people will see today is very specifically like, we're going to the Ronde. And I just like, I didn't make it, I got lost and couldn't hit the bridge. But like that's kind of par for the course, I guess. Oh, St. Catherine. Is this the road I took across the other day? I don't think so. I mean, I did the village going up the other day. Why not do it going down today? Oh, beautiful. Little public piano. Oh, so cool. It even sounds French. We'll try it out another day. We'll get there. Hello, Sam. It's okay. Unfortunately, it looks like we will not be heading to La Ronde today, but hopefully we get there at some point. Maybe not this trip, but we'll get there eventually. Blonde Biscuiterie. Ooh, a cookie place. Prohibition accessory pour fumier. So accessories for smokers. The National. I'm guessing that might be... Oh, are we back on Montreal? We are on we're on Sainte Catherine. Sainte Catherine. So this is apparently it's the largest queer village in North America. But like this is, at the very least, this dwarfs Touronno's. We have like 2 blocks and none of it's protected like this. Maddie, get a rainbow jacket? I mean, I would. That'd be nice actually. I was considering getting a jacket while I'm here because I don't have one. But like, not sure how much I need one. Hello, Harjot. Good to see you, buddy. Dépanneur de Ville. So apparently the depths are the places where you can get cigarettes. And like convenience stores, pretty much. That's my understanding. Notre bouffe de grâce. Oh, I need to come here with Hunter. Pigeon Cafe. There's something really funny about hearing someone like call out like multiple people as they're walking by name. It's like, oh. For some reason, I'm just immediately reminded, oh, they have a pre-op here. There used to be one in Touronno, but it closed years and years and years ago. Black Eagle Montreal. Doesn't look like much of an eagle. La Paella. Tattoo and piercings. They have good waffle fries. Ooh, good to know. You could set up Pet Cafe. I mean, I would make a killing if I called it Pup Cafe. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Anywhere in the village that's just called Pup right now would do very, very well. Very, very well indeed. Besoin de faire vérifier. Armada. Oh, that's men's room. They are located in Touronno as well. Actually, I think it's where they started. cute clothing places. Like this village is nice. I'm not gonna lie. Man, how am I gonna go back to Toronto after all this? Also, am I too old to move somewhere? Maybe. Maybe. Rosa Mexican. Yeah, this was the place that I walked by with Mark and was just like, ooh, that looks nice. How about putting a denim jacket and denim jeans and dyeing them rainbow colors? I can't afford that. You know how much money that all is? More than I have, unfortunately. One day. One day, maybe. Or probably not, let's be fair. But one day, maybe. I don't even know how much I'm worth as a stage manager. Or a writer, apparently. I can keep going down the village, or I can come up here and see what's over in this area. Both cities are equally nice in my book. Montreal is more Europe vibes, Toronto is more New York City vibes. I can buy that. Like Toronto is very like Toronto is very like New York, Chicago, but like really a junior version of both. Montreal is kind of its own thing, but definitely leans more European influence for sure. But I think I jive more with the European influence. I just think it's nice to see so much. Like it just feels very vibrant and alive and exciting and artistic. But at the same time, probably harder to make friends. Then again, where isn't these days? Montreal has a law that it can't build any building taller than Mount Royal, so we don't have any skyscrapers like Toronto. Which I think is kind of the right call. It keeps everything like more livable almost. It's just nice. I like that idea. Toronto broke that with the CN Tower, and this like at that point all bets were off. The trouble with having so many skyscrapers at this point is it just eats up all the light on the ground. So you don't nearly get as much sun, which is kind of, it's disappointing because that's kind of like the point of living in a place like that. You want to be able to have sunshine and light. I think that's why so many of the buildings are glass. It's because then it reflects off. But then people who live in the buildings directly across from them complain because the light reflects into their buildings. One thing I will say about Montreal is it seems to have this whole, it's got the vibe right in this area. I'm much happier in this area than that area I was just in. One thing I will say about Toronto is like you get areas like the Annex, which are very much this vibe, but not with the density. So it's like if this was combined with just houses. But Montreal seems to have the idea that like, instead of having a house and breaking it up into a million little units, why don't we just plan by having all of these medium residential, or like medium density residential units just everywhere? I think I prefer that. Like, there's other benefits to coming to Montreal. It does seem cheaper than Toronto, but like, probably not by much, let's be fair. But also just, it's kind of just nice. I think I like it. Ah, Rue La Fontaine. So if I was to take this down, that would probably take me to the Parc La Fontaine, which is the park I've been at for the past couple days now. And it was very nice, very, very nice. My dad was so very kind to give me a pack of chocolate biscuits. He neglected to mention that they were 4 months, 1 week, and a couple days expired. I'm sure they still tasted great. I feel like most, okay, maybe I'll get in trouble for this one. I feel like most expiry dates are merely suggestions. And like, if something is dry, like a biscuit or something like that, it won't really go bad. You know? But just like that day was the date that they could technically quantify exactly how long it would be. Like, this is when it would be freshest, is before. So, I didn't eat them. Oh, well, send them to me. I'll eat them. I'll eat them live on camera. What a beautiful space. It's just full of these really nice little places. I agree, LAP. We're the people who will actually eat things that other people don't want, I guess. Just gonna take a little moment to kind of come back in and look at this. Milk goes stagnant. Oh yeah, no one wants bad milk. But like cheese, more of a gray area. Is Montreal a far drive? Highway 401. I'll be honest, I don't know. Chocolate is milk in. Yeah, but chocolate doesn't go, chocolate wouldn't go bad. I think it's because there's something like the proteins in the milk that would otherwise spoil when they're treated in cheese or chocolate or something like that. They're already like formed into something that won't spoil the same way. So that's why I think some cheese ages and doesn't go bad. And like you can age chocolate as well, but maybe it depends on the quality of chocolate and cheese. I don't know exactly how that works. Four to 6 hour drive from Montreal to Toronto. Depending how fast you drive traffic, if you step for gas or brake. Yeah, I would say, I would say Toronto to Ottawa is about 5 hours. At least the ones I've driven with. Maybe I don't drive with French drivers. Maybe that's the difference. But like, I know that Montreal to Ottawa is about an hour and a half. So I would think it would be about 7 hours, no? UK foods don't have chemical packs, so it goes off faster. I mean, to an extent, yeah. But I still think some basics, like cheese has been aged for years the same way. But maybe it depends on the cheese. I'm also talking way too much about stuff like, some stuff wouldn't spoil, but it just wouldn't taste as good. Like chips technically don't spoil, but the nitrogen they get like in the bags, once that's released, like even it releases through, like it won't go bad, but it will go stale, right? And that's just not as good. So that's usually where like things like best before dates come in. Just like technically the time before that is the time they can guarantee the maximum amount of nitrogen is contained within the bag to keep it as fresh as it can be. After that, they can't guarantee that the nitrogen has been sealed within the bag. So you end up with these things that just don't taste as good. But they also can't guarantee that all nitrogen is left, so they just have to do statistics in that grade. That's why you still sometimes end up with stale chips, even though it's not expired yet. Or not, sorry, the best before date hasn't gone off. I hope that makes sense. But that's also like one specific example of chips. Or crisps, I guess I should say. Corridor Scolaire. Oh no, look at that hill. Oh, this is gonna suck. I made this choice to myself. I love that though. That's super cool. So if this hill is like straight up, do you think it'll flatten out if I go south a little bit? Nah, it's fine. We're just gonna do this anyway. We'll live the dream. I have a Haiti flag on them. All right, I can conquer this. I wonder what kind of flowers these are. What about ice cream best before? I feel like that might have more to do with texture than anything, wouldn't it? I don't know. Because like ice cream's frozen, so it shouldn't go bad. But I guess at some point it might maybe just get like susceptible to freezer burn. I don't know. Also, hello Glenn. Good to have you today. I haven't actually checked the number of likes we have yet today. 29 out of 36 people? Oh, for shame. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, my worst enemy. A slight incline. Be safe in Montreal. Thank you, Glenn. Doing my best, but greatly enjoying it. Like, look at the cool places that are all around us right now. Very, very neat. Hello, old bee's knees. Ice cream doesn't last in my freezer long enough to expire. You know what? That is a common problem most people have. If you have ice cream in your freezer that goes bad, I don't know what that tells. I don't know what that says. Just like maybe you're living a good life, because yeah, that might actually that might actually be what that means. If you have ice cream that goes bad in your freezer, good for you. Just, you know what? No notes. Good for you. That's great. 30 likes, 34 watching. Yeah, we have a wonderful group of folks here today. Hi, Montreal, love. I used to visit every few years, but haven't been there in a while now. Eva B is one of my favorite stores on the planet. Eva B, okay, I'll have to check that out. I haven't heard of that one personally myself, but I definitely hope to. Very, very soon. Oh, screw this hill. So here's the thing. Hills aren't a problem. But after like an hour and 45 minutes of just pure walking, yeah, they do become annoying. Tutti Frutti ice cream is delicious, as rum and raisin ice cream. I don't remember the last time I've had rum and raisin. All right, we can make this one. Ooh, we hit the light. We have enough time to cross. We can do it. And we done did. Well, it looks like I think I'm back at Parc de la Fontaine. Am I? Or just another random beautiful park? Hard to say. I hope someone knows where oh, wait. I think I know where I'm going. I think. Do I? We're gonna find out. It's a huge, funky thrift store. You'll love it. Ooh, I'll definitely check it out then. Are you hydrating? Yes, you are. I am not, actually. I didn't bring my water bottle today because I didn't expect to be out this long without a water fountain. So, not my brightest move. Pumpkin spice blizzard. Ooh. So we'll need to see where the ponds are. Once I know, I think I'm heading back towards Saint Denis. So I think I need to go left to get back up there. But, oh, pumpkin spice blizzard sounds so good. See, I think a blizzard might go bad because a blizzard still has milk in it. Does it? God, I don't know. No one should trust me for food advice. I'm not a food person. I just eat it. But it's like, look how gorgeous this is. Like, what a cool area. What a cool city. Montre means walk in French, doesn't it? Because if I did make a side channel, I could just call it Montre Walk. Doesn't quite work. It works better, I think. Watch her show. I mean, that would make sense. A very good friend of mine works at Dairy Queen. I mean, I've been called that before. I took it as a compliment. One thing I've noticed about Montreal is a lot of really nice big parks. Like a great deal of visual interest. Okay, so Montreal walk would actually mean like watch walking, which is kind of cool. Might require too much of the pun. I guess it works though. You know what? If someone starts a Montreal walking channel, that's what they should call it. Montreal walk. No, now that I think about it, it's kind of a terrible name. Maybe I don't know. You let me know what you think, folks. Or someone claim it right now and start walking your city. So here's the amazing thing about Montreal, is we've seen how far I've gone. And I think I've dropped frames maybe twice. Like, why is it so much better in here than in Toronto? I think I know the answer. I think it's honestly because the buildings aren't as tall. Like the little things you don't realize affect you as much as they do. Sorry. Oh, clearly running away from a monster. Like, it really is just a beautiful little space. The phone network I mentioned apparently works in Toronto. They say everything works in Toronto. Freedom is supposed to work fully in Toronto, and they walk around and I still encounter dropped frames all the time. Not that I'm irritated at that or anything. Walk past the Bell Center. Have I walked past the Bell Center? I don't know where I would find that. You know what, if I don't hit the Bell Center today, because I probably won't, this walk's winding down. I've been going for like 2 hours already. So, my legs are like little slabs of granite. I don't take it for granted. It's like, look how nice that is. Montreal Canadiens. Ah, okay. Oh, I should have gone there for Marcel's birthday. I could have done like a shout out from that place. He loves the Canadiens. And just like, to be fair, yeah, do it. Why not? No one likes the Leafs. Actually, I'm sure some people like the Leafs. But it's like, I feel like at that point, you're just kind of feels like a fool's errand. Again, not a sports person. Boo Leafs go, Habs go. I mean, I guess that's an unpopular opinion on Toronto walk station, but also, I don't care. As I mentioned earlier with the World Cup, I'll take nature over sports any day. I know some people can like different things. And many people, sports is like a nostalgic thing, because you grew up with certain teams. But I've never have. Like I was never into sports. The closest thing I got was being very into Eurovision for a short time. Hello, Kevin. Good to see you, my friend. Like, this is just so picturesque. "1967 last Maple Leaf Stanley Cup." Yes. Funny enough, I know that. The reason I know that is because, okay, when I was in North Bay, I was in a show that was done by Rod Carley, who was our director and who was our like producer for our program, like our college theater program. And he did a version of Henry V that was 1967 Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Montreal Canadiens as like a big hockey team playoffs. It was really great, actually. It was a lot of fun. It taught me about Henry V, which is not the most popular Shakespearean play. Hey, squirrel. How you doing, buddy? But I played a Canadien, which I guess would technically make me a Habs fan. But ask me what I know about hockey these days, or sports in general. The answer is, does Eurovision count as a sport? Because that's about where my knowledge ends. See, I know I got a couple more people who liked, because as soon as they did, my numbers went up. So it really does help, friends. All right. Are you a foodie? Do I like poutine? I got a really good poutine while I was here at a place called Patati Patata or something like that. But that was a lot of fun. That was very nice. But I do like poutine. I don't get it very often just because it's so rich and my stomach doesn't normally handle foods that are like super duper rich like that. But like for what it was very good and I greatly enjoyed. But if you know good places for food, I am all in, my friend. Yeah, Mark, who I was with the other day, who took me for the little mini walk around, he took me to a place around here called Ma Poulet Moulier. I just love the fact that it translates to my wet chicken. And it's like, oh, I mean, I guess there's some good euphemisms in there. But yeah, I definitely love good food. I can't afford good food usually, but I do love it a great deal. You are near Banquoise and Ma Poulet Moulier. Yeah, yes. So I don't know Banquise, but okay. So initially, my friendship is 50% at best. And I love donuts, right? So there was a donut place around the corner from where we're staying called a boulangerie, something like that. But I came up with the idea of doing like, what if every donut store I went to, I had like, rate my donut. So I thought I would be like, rete mon beignet, not realizing that rete is actually like ruin. So the rough translation would be ruin my donut, wreck my donut in like, and I can't help but think of that as anything other than like an extremely sexual phrase. So I did not go with that name overall. But try baked potatoes filled with baked beans, sprinkled with grated cheese and topped with mayonnaise. It sounds like it could be nice, but like supremely English in its own way. It's basically across the street. All right, all right. I'm gonna head home and kick up my feet for a few minutes. But if I was to get something there, what would I get? Nice of that man to let me through. Chez Bobette. Laundry. Oh, it's a laundry place. That makes sense. Depends what you like. The menu is crazy. I usually stick to the OG regular poutine. Okay, so it's called banquise. Banquise. Banquise? I don't trust my French pronunciation as much as I probably should. Or maybe I shouldn't. That's also, like most people, I'm proud. I'm always happy if someone's just like, don't speak French. I'm just like, okay, I will not do that. I will keep practicing. All right, so le banquise, good to know. Well, I'm sorry I did not make it over to, did not make it to La Ronde after all. But we tried. Yes, that's how you say it. Yeah. Done. C'est bien. Maybe I should start auditioning for things in French. Rue Berry. Sonic. Like, what cool little stores. See, being here is giving me dangerous thoughts that I really shouldn't be entertaining. But now I kind of can't help it. Baked potatoes, milk, cheese, and slices of bacon. Oh, now you're attacking. If we're gonna go for decadence, let's go entirely for decadence. Can already tell Montreal has an amazing vibe. It really does, banger. It really does. Yeah, I can't believe I haven't been putting French titles into my thing. Because I'm just like, that just makes sense. Why have I not been doing this the entire time? You might want to move there. I'm not saying no at this point. I mean, I know it would require a lot, but you know, thoughts are thinking. Percolating some ideas, that's for sure. Wear a French outfit. I mean, technically I always am. I just wear clothes over top of it. Bamboo bleu. I'm surprised that it's taken me this long to come to Montreal to experience it for myself. Had I known what was here, I feel like I would have been here much, much earlier. And also, like, it's closer to my family. It seems like there's more artistic opportunities here. I don't know. Are the people good looking? Well, I'm here, so they must be. You just passed a good donut shop, Baignerie. Was that the one I went to yesterday and did the video about? I hope so. Théâtre d'aujourd'hui. Wait, am I going the right way? I'll find out soon enough. Are the people good looking? Seems like they are. I would say so. Lots of good looking folk around here. Maybe that's why I'm just like, maybe I'd fit in.
Ici, on est allé manger moi la soupe.
All right, I am officially in the area where I need to be, but I'm also at the point where I must sign off because it is that time. My battery is hitting the mode where it's just like, oh, I should probably do it. So thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Montreal is absolutely being a delight downtown. I'm super happy I get to explore all of this, and I'm super curious to see what else this place has to offer. So hopefully I get to explore more in the next couple of days. Until then, thank you for joining. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please consider liking and subscribing. It does help the channel out in a great way. And I'd love to see you back again. So don't be afraid to let me know what you'd like to see next. I'm always happy here. I'm always happy to be around. Wait. It's a romantic comedy of a girl who moves to Montreal to write a book about Alanis Morissette. Oh, that'd be cool. Who doesn't love Alanis? She's like absolutely one of my favorite singers of all time. But that's besides the point. Thank you for joining. We'll see everyone very, very soon. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and hopefully we get to see you again very soon.